Shalom and blessings, warriors of Yahuah and the truth. I hope everyone had a Baruch Yom Teruah, a restful, relaxing, enjoyable Yom Teruah. My shofar, my dog, my big dog, he's a big baby, my Rottweiler. I don't know if the high-pitched noise from my shofar is making him bark or if it's the jerky scent, but I got the one that was unscented, or it wasn't cleaned, it was left the way it was, and see, he's already going nuts. Okay, I'm going to put it away, don't worry. It makes too high pitch of a sound, so my dog just goes crazy, and I felt bad I couldn't keep blowing it on our Yom Teruah video with Sister Roz. I feel so bad because our neighbor, that is really not a nice guy, was yelling when I was blowing the shofar and Roscoe was barking. And I believe it's because the neighbor has demons, and I don't think they really want to leave him. Anyways, we are on video number 50. Hopefully I will be getting soon the Beguiled Eden to Armageddon Volume 1 book, because that's the book you guys voted for. And then after that, I'm pretty sure you guys will want me to read Volume 3. So I will find a way to get Volume 3 as well. We are on video number 51, part 2 of Abominable Flesh. Oh no, I think it was like this. Yes. Okay. Alright, so I have tried to figure out where we were. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to start from here. These sons of Yahuah were not humans mating with humans, but fallen angels mating with human women. Because Adam and Kua, or Eve's, DNA was pure and could not have produced a child with a giant's traits. Because fallen angels are who fathered giant offspring later in Genesis. It proved Satan's mixed son Cain, like the giants, used his superiority in beastly strength to kill his pure human half-brother Abel without remorse. Many want to believe Cain was not Satan's progeny, but it is plain as day he was. Giants were not totally human, although they had some human characteristics. I believe I read that part to you guys in the last video. I apologize. Now I remember where we were. Praise Yahuah. Alright. Adam and Kua were totally different from anything else Yahuah created and were held to a much higher standard. In fact, no other living creature in Yahuah's creation of Eden was instructed to not eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. That's a new knowledge for me. If it was only fruit that was bad on Satan's tree, then the birds and other animals should have been equally warned that they would die if they also ate Satan's fruit. But this was not the case. And I believe that's because animals don't have free will like we do. They just eat and reproduce. So we can better understand Satan's tree did not contain regular fruit. That is right. Satan's fruit did not involve normal fruit, because once Adam and Kua ate with him, they put napkins over their private parts, not over their mouths. This means Satan beguiled Eve or Kua in her tender innocence to trust his knowledge and have sex with him. This union was so Satan's tree would have a branch to put on fruit with seeds to produce a continual mixed fallen angel or fallen malachim or cherubim and human lineage to rule earth's kingdoms over mere humans. Satan warned the human population wanted the human population tainted so that Yahusha could never be born. But he didn't stop that. He totally exploited Adam and Kua's pureness. They're childlike beings. They didn't know sexuality. They didn't know about any of that yet. They should have followed Yahuah's mandate not to even touch the tree of knowledge. If Kua or Eve had never touched it, she would have not eaten and become pregnant. Satan taught her and Adam inappropriate sexual behavior before Yahuah had told them to be fruitful and multiply. Bella, come here. But even more importantly, they broke the spiritual and physical bonds of Kodesh matrimony, or holy matrimony in Christian terminology, that was so sacred to their creation. Yahuah had set them apart from all other creatures, and is why Satan targeted them. This spiritual connection to Yahuah explains why they covered themselves with napkins over their private parts and then hid from him. Satan and his fallen messengers or fallen angels lusted after human flesh for all the wrong reasons, producing tainted offspring to destroy Yahuah's creation. When these mixed beings, unnatural flesh, died, they became evil spirits on earth, or evil ruachos, who could never return to Shamayim or heaven in their fallen states. They were twice dead, both physically and spiritually, without any hope of redemption ever, just as Jude 1:12 mentioned earlier. Earth has become the habitation of all those twice dead beings since the days of Noah. To truly understand why flesh became so corrupt, you must grasp the fact that there are two opposing lineages existing on earth. Satan's mixed lineage of tares having fallen angel properties versus Yahuah's originally created humans born from Adam and Kua's sexual union after their kind. The genetically purest of tares became kings over earth, building walled cities and armies, as well as forcing their rule over mere humans by using magic, craftiness, beguilement, demonic infiltration, and satanic black arts. They are evil, pure evil, who continue to maintain to this very day their right to rule by mating like thoroughbreds and not mixing with mere commoners in order to keep their lineage secure with dominant serpentine traits. Their desire is to always be as genetically pure as their forefathers, Cain, whom the scripture tells us was evil. Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one, and slew his brother. And wherefore slew he him? Because his own works were evil, and his brother's righteous. 1 John 3:12. Cain's lineage, possessing Satan's cherubim, human-like appearance, and his fallen angel properties of evil, became superior warriors. Their offspring continued to engage in sexual immorality with fallen angels or fallen cherubim against our Creator's original plan for mankind's reproduction. The Book of Enoch even declares fallen angels used malignant words in their polluted mouths against His Majesty. Polluted derives from the word halal or chalal or kalal. It's C-H-A-L-A-L, which is an instrument of music directed against Yahuah. Genesis 4:21 calls Jubal Yubal a descendant of Cain who received wisdom from fallen angels or fallen cherubim. The father of all such as handle the harp and organ. The word handle means to manipulate and is an English translation for an original Hebrew word tafas, meaning without divine authorization. Cain's lineage did not play Yahuah's pure music, but instead played fallen angels or fallen cherubim unauthorized versions. They're adulterated music, like how the music was changed from 432 hertz to 440 hertz. It messes with people's minds. It's not in harmony with how we're supposed to be hearing music, how Yahuah intended. Using such tactics allowed Satan's army of fallen angels who followed after him to seduce humans into sorcery and to play the harlot. Satan and his cohorts used his sexual frenzy of wine, women, and song to mix with the daughters of man and produce evil creatures upon Yahuah's earth, or Eretz. Satan and his fallen... I'm sorry. Hold on, 1 second. Satan and his fallen followers were the original whores in ancient times against Yahuah's pure creation. They seduced and took advantage of human innocence, pureness. Eve or Kua was beguiled by Satan. She was not the whore, or she would have seduced him. But because she was married, she committed adultery, which Adam, who was with her, could have stopped her from doing. Instead, he allowed his body to sin, as Kua was of Adam's flesh. They were one flesh. Bone of my bones. One flesh. They were Echad, married. And Echad means as one. Instead, he allowed his body to sin, as Eve or Kua was of Adam's flesh. Kua was in the transgression, but Adam allowed it when he had the power to stop her. So both of them were punished by Yahuah for disobeying his mandate to refrain from Satan's tree of knowledge. This is like an innocent child who has been warned not to touch a hot stove because they will get hurt. Then, behind the father's back, the kid touches the stove. It gets burnt. When the father finds out, he punishes the child by sending him to his room for disobeying. The kid is not only burned, but also gets a sentence of being sent to his room for not obeying as well. Kua, or Eve, was burned by her sexual act with pregnancy, and she and Adam also got their father's sentence as well for disobeying. And the Adonai Yahuah said unto the woman, What is this that thou hast done? And the woman said, The serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. And the Adonai Yahuah said unto the serpent, Because thou hast done this, thou art cursed above all cattle and above every beast of the field. Upon thy belly shalt thou go, and dust shalt thou eat all the days of thy life. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed. It shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children, and thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over thee. And unto Adam he said, Because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, or Ashah, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, Thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed is the ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of your life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth to thee. And you shall eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of your face shalt you eat bread, till thou return unto the ground. For out of it wast you taken, for dust you are, and unto dust you return. And Adam called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. It's really Kua in Hebrew. But Genesis 3:12 through 20. Next time we will be reading White Noise, Human Resonance, and Harmonies. This chapter, I think, is a bit longer as well, so we're going to split this one into 2 parts as well. I hope that is okay with you guys. She brings up volume 3, and that I find that pretty cool. But oh wow, that's the last chapter. So I really can't wait until the next book comes, because I really feel like this information is important to get out to you guys. In the end, we win. I'll read that poem to you guys at the end of the book as well. But it looks like the book's a lot longer, but there's only one more chapter left. that I'm going to split into 2 parts and a poem. But this whole back part is all the research she did. So there's about, it goes from page 240 from the research from all of her to 314. So that's quite a few chapters. That's 74 pages actually of research, different references from where she got all her research. So this is a very reliable source, and you can find these at sacredwordpublishing.com. I am so excited about getting the new book, and Toda Rabba, my Mishpaka, Toda Rabba, Abba Yahuah Yireh. This song always makes me happy and cheers me up. I've had a kind of rough couple of days because I really felt disappointed I couldn't continue to blow the shofar for our live last night, but I was able to play the drum a little bit and sing. But from trying to blow the shofar, since I haven't done it in so long, it strained my vocal cords. So I hope that this song will bring you guys as much joy as it brings me. And if anyone is upset today, I hope that it brings you joy and cheers you up. Count it all joy. 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 Through the persecution, Yahushua went through it too. Count it all joy. To count it all joy. Through the trials and tribulations, through the suffering and the pain. Count it all joy. Count it all joy. No matter what you're going through, when you don't know what to do, look to Yahushua, and you'll count it all joy. When Hashem throws a wrench in your life, drop down to your knees and pray to Abba Yahuah, and He will work it all out for you, so you can count it all joy. Count it all joy. Yahuah works everything out for our good. Your heart and your mind must be working in unison. Stay faithful to Yah, and He will stay faithful to you, so you can count it all joy. Don't get caught up in the worries or cares of this world. Stay on the narrow path, not the broad road to destruction. Yahuah always has your back in your righteous ways, so you can count it all joy. Count it all joy. So you can count it all joy. Count it all joy. I love you all. Shalom and blessings, warriors of Yahuah and the truth.